This is MESSUP, M.E.S.S.U.P. That stands for Mobility, Extension, Stability, Strength, Utility, and Power. That's the course of events for working out without hurting yourself, something that anybody can ease into at their own pace. Today we're going to be doing M for mobility. This is something that you can do every day. There's no resistance to this. It is mostly, almost entirely about simply getting the cobwebs out of your joints, the rust, just move. You don't have to hyperextend anything. You're not trying to stretch. You just want to move every part of your body through every possible range that it would normally move in. That actually does release what's called synovial fluid in certain joints that is kind of like spraying WD-40 in the joints. And that helps you a lot throughout the day. And if you do have any other workouts that you're going to be doing, it will help with those as well. So we're just going to get right into it. I do a top-down approach for everything with the most of my routines. So with mobility, we start with the neck, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the fingers, the torso, the waist, then the hips, then the knees, then the ankles, and the toes. All right, we just move everything through every way that it can move. So we're just gonna start. I do generally 10 repetitions for each motion. So starting with the neck, we're gonna look both directions and then up and down and then circles. Simple enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. All right, so left, right is 1. And so up, down is also going to be 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay, then we do circles. And just do 5 in one direction, then 5 in the other direction. All right, that's it for the neck. Next, we're gonna move on to the shoulders. There's a lot of range in your shoulders and your hips. They're ball and socket joints, so they can move in lots of different ways. So there's several things that we do for each of these. So started out, we just do hands up, and your elbows are gonna bring together, and then back, and then rotate your hands down, and that's 1. All right, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay, so next we're going to do just cross. That's on top, on bottom. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. All right. Okay. So you might feel a little bit of actual tension in your shoulders for that. That's totally normal. Let's see, what do we do next on that? We're going to go a combination of shoulders and elbows for this next one. Basically, it's like a splash, like you're splashing in a pool, right? But you're going to go all the way up and then bend your elbows down and kind of pat yourself on the back, all right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. All right. And then let's see, we do rotations, just arms out with your palms down for forward rotations, and then arms out with palms up for backward rotation. So we'll do 10 forward and then 10 backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. All right, palms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay, does that's pretty much it for the shoulders. You can kind of wiggle it out a little bit. You might feel some tension in your traps a little bit in your shoulders. That's fine. So we did the elbows already. There's not a whole lot you can do for your elbows because they're not ball and sockets, they're hinge joints, so they move one direction. The next is a wrist, which is, I think they're compound joints because they have multiple different directions, but it's not the same as a ball and socket. So for these, I do, just think of like revving up a motorcycle, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then kind of like a circular Tai Chi wavy type of thing. And that's really just to get it to go through the other directions that it can go in there. There's probably 10. Okay. And then for the fingers, we just open and close your hands 10 times. And that's good. So you've got your neck, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrist, your fingers are done. So now you've got your torso, what it can do. You do have vertebrae, you know, you want to try to move those as much as you can. And that's going to take us down to the waist as well. So for starters, we basically do just kind of like think of it like a shoulder roll as far forward as you can, and then bring it back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay. And then we're going to do a torso twist. One direction plus the other direction is 1 rep. Basically, you just want to have like a kind of wide stance, a little bit wider than your shoulders. Your elbows up and squat down just a tad, just a little bit of bend in your knees. And then you twist to the left or the right, and then the other way, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all that you can do in a mobility stance or point of view for your torso area. Obviously, there's other things you can do, like to just kind of decompress. But when we're talking about what you do movement-wise, that's the majority of it there. And then the next thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna do bend of the waist, kind of like toe touches. It's a little bit of a hamstring stretch, but you don't want to stretch. You're just trying to bend your waist and your hips. So we're gonna go bend forward to touch as low as you can without hurting yourself, and then a little bit of a hip thrust at the top. All right, so again, wider stance, go forward, thrust. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's kind of similar to what you would want to do if you were doing a deadlift. So you're wanting to get the actual hip thrust along with the back erector muscles. Mostly that's the same type of motion. Obviously, it's not the heavy lifting motion, it's just the moving through that particular type of movement. All right, so then we have the actual hips, not the waist, but the hips. It's another ball and socket joint. So there's several that we do for this one as well. See, there's 1, 2, 3 or 4 that you do for the hips. And since you need to stand on one leg, I do have a chair here. If you want to use a chair or you want to try to balance yourself without a chair, whatever you feel like, but this is to be safe. I keep one hand on the chair while I'm doing this. So for the first one, I swing my leg in front of the other leg and then back, and that's 1 rep. For the second one, it's more of a sideways stance with the legs going forward and then backwards, and that's 1 rep. And then lastly, it's a knee raise, and you just are turning your hip a little bit that way. Again, because it's a ball and socket joint, it does have that full range of motion possibilities. All right, so first, the swinging legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and switch to the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. Okay. And then we can stand sideways so you can see this a little better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. 3, 4, 5. 10. Okay. And then you just raise one knee, get it about 90 degrees, and then you just kind of wiggle it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, that one doesn't do a whole lot, but if you have any sort of hip flexor issues, it does help with that as well. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay. And that's pretty much going to cover it for the hips. We got the knees, ankles, and the toes. So for the knees, just lift your leg up, straighten it out, bring it down, straighten it out, bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. Okay, it's ankles and toes. We're gonna do those all at once. Basically, you lift your foot up, you put it down. From your heel down, and then if you've ever rolled your ankle, you know it hurts like a son of a gun. We're gonna do like a controlled, gradual roll of our ankles so that you're more or less putting the weight on the foot that you're not rolling, and the other one you're just kind of moving it from the ball of your feet on the ground. So I'm gonna angle the phone down a little bit so you can see it better. Hopefully. There we go. All right. So up, down, 3, 4, 5. 10. Okay. Up, down, 4, 5. Okay. And then let me slide back a little bit here. So you see my leg a little bit there. Just so I've got the ball of my foot on the ground. You're just kind of rolling it. It's not very elegant, but it's just one of those things where if you do happen to roll your ankle in some weird way when you are putting a bunch of weight on it, it really does hurt a lot. And so this is something that just, it loosens that up. If you ever do actually injure your ankle, this sort of motion beforehand will tend to shorten the duration of the injury, possibly by a couple of days. You know, not a huge thing, but a couple of days sooner getting back on your feet is always a good thing. All right, and that's it. So even with me explaining what everything is, what MESSUP is, what each motion is, this is 15 minutes. You're probably looking at maybe 5 or 6 minutes a day if you actually do this. Once you get to where you know the routine, just remember, head down, and if you miss something, it's not a big deal. This is just, again, to get the cobwebs out for you so that you can move throughout the day. Hope you guys had a good time. Again, this is MESSUP, M-E-S-S-U-P, and I'm Drew. I'll see you soon.